Hello there, this is Joe Manna with Infusionsoft. What I'm going to share with you today is give you some insights on how you can migrate your FeedBurner blog delivery system over to Infusionsoft. And the reason why you would probably want to do this is because Infusionsoft is an all-in-one sales and marketing system where you're able to follow up with your contacts, organize all that data, and be able to save some time in the process. So essentially from here, you can see the output of what we'll be doing today is essentially a very simple email template that contains the blog post, the description, if we have one, and a read more tag. And the reason why you would do this is so you can control the branding and the output of the email as well as the content that's in it. Another thing that you'd want to do this, another reason why you would want to do this is you would actually be able to send emails more reliably to your subscribers and be able to have a better and more accurate pulse on the response of your blog posts. Additionally, you're able to deepen relationships with the people you already have on your list by delivering them blog content. So let's get started. So the first thing that you want to do is log into your FeedBurner account. This is just one of our other blogs that we just started recently. You'd log into your account and you'd click onto the Publicize tab. From there, you'd click onto the Email Subscriptions tab. And then you would scroll down to the bottom and click onto where it says View Subscriber Details. At that point, you would want to click on the CSV file. This will allow you to download the contacts and be able to pull them up so you can actually import that information into Infusionsoft. And here's what that information looks like, just to give you a better idea. It would actually look like this. And what you can see is that in this field, you'll have an email address, and in this one, you'll have the date when they opted in. And this one, you'll have the overall status of how Google views that email address, whether they are active and they confirmed their interest to receive your content from FeedBurner, or if they have not confirmed. So you'll basically be able to import all this information directly into Infusionsoft. I recommend having these two columns broken out into different custom fields so you can do some additional analysis and research on it later. It's also something our email compliance team would also appreciate if you could add any additional information when people have signed up. That'll actually help them support you whenever someone has questions about that. So now that you've imported your list, something I want to keep in mind here. So when you do a contact import, you definitely want to make sure that you are not marketing or promoting your business in any way to them at this point. The people who have opted in for your blog have opted in only for your blog and not necessarily your sales and marketing content. So you want to make sure that you gain permission before you start marketing to them. So the first step that you want to do is to actually be able to segment and create some different tags here in the system. So before we send emails to anyone, we just need to establish this first before we move on. So the two tags I created would be a test tag, which is only has me on it, and you would use this tag for the setup and the duration of the setup while you get everything configured. The other tag that you would create would be your actual blog delivery tag. In this case, it's called Daily Update. And this is the tag that you will eventually want to have people receive in order for them to get those blog posts sent to them properly. So what you do with those tags, there's a couple things that you want to do. So the first of which is with the context that you imported, you'll be doing an email confirmation request, also known as a double opt-in. Well, you could see here that we've done actually a few double opt-in requests, and what these have done is they've all yielded different levels of performance in doing so. So just to give you an idea of what one of these looks like, I'll go ahead and pull one of them up. I simply communicated with people on essentially letting them know that there's a change in how you're going to be receiving these blog posts. We no longer used FeedBurner. This is up to you if you want to explain it. And then all you want to do is drive them towards one call to action, which is to confirm their email address. And I'm using the email confirmation merge field, and I'm selecting the one in this case to actually do that. Within this merge field, bear in mind, it's actually running an action when people click on it to automatically apply the tag, the daily blog, the daily update, so they can actually go ahead and receive the blog posts automatically later on. And then finally, I just kind of personalize it a little bit more, letting them know my appreciation for them to confirm their interest. But at no point am I promoting Infusionsoft or anything else about our business. I have one goal. My one goal is to get them to convert. And I've obviously done that and also different variation of it at different points with different segments of our list. So go ahead and try this out and space these confirmations out over a period of about a month. I've actually had pretty good success with that. And then finally, once you go ahead and confirm their address and they have the tag applied, what's going to happen is they'll actually receive blog posts automatically when you publish them. So the only missing link here is how do you configure what gets actually sent to people? And this is the next part. So what you want to do within the Marketing Maven's RSS to email application is once you configure the basics like your API key, you'll be going through and configuring the delivery of your blog content. The first of which is the name of your blog. Next would be the RSS feed. If you access your RSS feed, which is usually your blog address /feed, and it looks like this, you're good to go. If it does not look like this, or it basically is a 404 file, go ahead and contact your hosting provider or your webmaster for some additional help on that. So essentially at this point, you would be just configuring your RSS feed here. You would choose the tag that you want to send people automatically within Infusionsoft. And in this case, I have here the daily update. You can name it anything that you want. And once you're done with that, go ahead and click Save Your Work. And then next up here is actually configuring your email template. You have a lot of options at this point. This is probably where you're going to spend most of your time. So what you can do when you actually get here, you'll actually notice it will be all blank. You could essentially start from scratch, and you don't have to do any additional configuration aside from inserting the merge fields. However, the appearance of our emails is very important to us. So what I did, I actually created an email within Infusionsoft, and I brought over the HTML code. So you'll have your email template that looks like this, and it'll be blank. So what you want to do is go ahead and pull that HTML code right in. So here's how we did that. We basically did that through Infusionsoft over into our marketing templates. And I actually created a template. And in this template, it's actually relatively easy. I used the email builder. And I went ahead and basically created what I wanted the final result to look like. Basically, I mocked it up with a blog title, made it a hyperlink, put in a description, and put in a read more text. And just made it look like the end result that I want. I could obviously put in other stuff. I could probably throw an image in here somewhere if I wanted to, and I could put in additional content. And I actually encourage you to do that so it's very personalized and it doesn't look as dry as what you're looking at here. So once you put in this content and you have your merge fields all configured properly, and you like the end result, go ahead and click onto Preview. And what this will do, this will actually come up with a rendering of your email template. At this point, something to point out is that this is it's an iframe. And what this means is that this is really two different web pages that you're looking at the same time. So what you need to do to grab the HTML code, simply right-click if you're on a Windows computer, or hit Control-click if you're on a Mac, or right-click if you have a two-button mouse, obviously. And then go ahead and you'll have this context menu that appears. Mouse over where it says This Frame, and then click onto View Frame Source. This will actually provide you the HTML code for that template automatically. And all you need to do is copy everything below the opening body tag all the way down to the closing body tag. So everything between this point here on your screen, you would definitely want to copy. And basically what this is, it's the actual HTML code. It has all the addresses properly pulling from our servers and our Amazon systems automatically. So you'd copy this code and you would paste it directly into the editor on the Maven RSS app. and you would actually paste that directly into the HTML editor. You can see I clicked this little button right here, and it gave me this little pop-up. I update the code, and I'm pretty much good to go. It'll give you something that looks like this. Next, you would actually need to then change the actual fields within the email to reflect the merge fields of the Maven RSS app. You can read through on the sidebar of the app for more information on what all the fields do. I recommend spending some time just getting familiar with it. It'll actually help you it'll help you actually realize a lot of value in this right away. So once you do that, go ahead and hit save your work. And then finally, just some additional notes here I want to point out. This is very flexible, this application. You don't only need to send out one blog post at a time. You could actually batch a series of blog posts and send one email with multiple posts in it if you're posting at that volume. So you can actually leverage that, and it gives you some guidance on how you would do that. The next step is to actually test out the email, and you'll be spending a lot of time here too. Just making sure as you test and tweak and you modify the code and you're making sure everything looks right, you definitely want to be testing it and seeing what it looks like for you, the end user. So what you do here is you pick out your test tag, or you configure your test tag if you haven't done so already, which this one would be it for me. And you configure that, and you just start sending yourself a test email. This actually very much mirrors what the actual output is for your contacts. So you can reliably test this out and know that if it looks good for you, it'll look good for other people. Once everything is all configured here at this point, you would go ahead and make sure you activate it and configure your delivery options accordingly, and go ahead and save that. So that basically wraps up configuring the Maven RSS app. Something I found very useful is as I'm going through using the app, the sidebar information is very helpful. So if you get stuck or if you're not sure on something, they actually do a really good job of explaining it here. So finally, the next step here is to actually just finalize your template. And once your template is finalized, you'll be good to go. One thing I want to point out is making use of this merge field, which is company.html can spam address block. What this merge field does is it actually displays your mailing address, which is required by can spam law, wherever you want in your email template. If you don't put this in, Infusionsoft will actually put it in for you at the bottom of your email no matter what. But if you don't want it to be put at the bottom of the email, entirely at the bottom, then go ahead and put this in, and we'll actually render your mailing address into the email. It's not often you would need to do this, but if you're using a service like Maven RSS or FeedBurner or any other application like that, you would actually want to use that. So that covers that aspect of it. And then finally, once you already confirmed your contacts, you already have the delivery here working, you already see it working, the final step is to actually turn off your FeedBurner email delivery. And all you have to do is go back to your FeedBurner screen, go all the way down to the very bottom, and then click on to deactivate. And what deactivate does, it just turns off the email delivery, and you'll be all set. So that basically wraps up on how to actually do your migration on over from FeedBurner to Infusionsoft, and it helps you actually do that pretty efficiently. Bear in mind, if it's the first time doing it, like it was mine a few weeks ago, it'll take you a little time to get used to this. It actually I've probably put in probably 3 to 4, almost 5 hours probably into managing this. But now that I actually did it, it's actually relatively easy to maintain and update and manage moving forward. And we finally got off of using FeedBurner. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments on the blog. I'll do my best to answer them. If you have any feedback or comments or praises or complaints, go ahead and leave those too. I'd love to help you out and see what we can do to rock your world. So thank you again for watching this video, watching this tutorial, and have a great day.